What? Someone actually dared to provoke the entire Endless Fire domain. They even abducted Xiao Yan's women, Shuna and Kai Lin, picking up from where we left off. After Lin Dong and the others departed, the experts of the martial realm who had gathered around also gradually dispersed. However, after this incident, their respect for the martial ancestor, the lord of the martial realm, deepened even further. Even a figure like the Flame Emperor was directly refused by the martial ancestor. With such a super-heavenly sovereign protecting them, they would no longer have to suffer bullying from others in the future. Time passed. On the third day after Xiao Yan left the martial realm, a piece of news shocked the upper echelons of the Endless Fire domain. Because after attending an auction, Gu Xun, Kailin, Xiao and Xiaolin were actually robbed. The stolen item was the divine spiritual marrow liquid, capable of strengthening the spiritual soul. This incident undoubtedly enraged Xiao Yan. He had been in the Great Thousand World for over a decade. What storms had he not seen? From supreme realm to heavenly sovereign, countless powerful experts had crossed his path, yet none could shake his status. Now in the Great Thousand World, even heavenly sovereigns had to show him respect. And yet now, someone dared to rob his women. Moreover, the perpetrator was merely a peak great perfection earth sovereign, simply courting death. On a mountain peak within the Endless Fire domain, Xiao Yan sat cross-legged with his eyes closed. Behind him, Xiao Lin Long Yuan and the others waited quietly. After about half an hour, Xiao Yan slowly opened his eyes. "How has it found any clues?" Long Yuan immediately stepped forward to ask. Based on the information brought back by Xiao and the others, Kai Lin had left behind a spiritual soul mark. As long as Xiao Yan tracked the one who took the divine spiritual marrow liquid, he could locate them. The culprit was still on the Danling continent, apparently unaware of the mark. Hearing this, Xiao Yan slowly stood up. Beneath his calm expression, a terrifying rage was faintly visible. He looked at Long Yuan and the others and said, "The Endless Fire domain has many matters to handle. This time I will go alone. You all stay behind and manage everything else." Hearing this, Long Yuan and the others nodded. Although the Endless Fire domain possessed vast resources now, the victims were Xiao Yan's wives. This incident was equivalent to someone slapping the face of the newly established Endless Fire domain. It was a direct provocation. "You must teach those people a harsh lesson," Shosho said angrily. However, Xiao Yan shot her a sharp glance. "If you hadn't insisted on dragging your mother out, this wouldn't have happened. I'll deal with you when I return." After briefly arranging matters, Kyogatore Open Space stepped into a spatial rift and in a single flash crossed millions of miles. With terrifying speed and silent killing intent, he headed straight toward the Danling continent, billions of miles away. After Xiao Yan left, Shosho snorted in dissatisfaction. Even if he's angry, he shouldn't vent it on his daughter. "My little ancestor, please stop causing trouble," Long Yuan said helplessly. "You might not know. A few days ago, your father personally visited the martial realm for the sake of the Fire Spirit clan. But the martial ancestor didn't give him any face. That's why his mood hasn't been good lately. So listen to Grandpa Long. Don't bother him for now. The martial realm is too arrogant. Wasn't father very domineering before? Why doesn't he deal with them?" Shosho pouted. At that moment, a calm voice sounded from nearby. "Experts are divided into 3 levels. The lowest dominate a region and live freely. There are many such people in the Great Thousand World. A higher level rules over vast territories. None dare provoke them. Their status makes countless beings bow in submission, like the Fire Spirit clan and Ice Spirit clan. But the highest level of experts possess great fame, yet act low-key, remain detached from worldly affairs, and secretly guard this world." Hearing this, Xiao and the others looked up. They saw Toshe Ancient God, Tuoshe Ancient Emperor slowly appear. He said, "Your father now belongs to the highest level, so he won't act just because someone refuses him face." Xiao Lin seemed to recall something. "Speaking of the martial realm, we met someone at the auction. She seemed to be the martial ancestor's wife. That should be Ling Qingzhu, the Lady of the Martial Realm, Tuoshe Ancient Emperor explained. She was the first ruler of the Martial Realm. Isn't the Martial Realm ruled by the martial ancestor? Xiao Lin asked. As far as I know, like your father, the martial ancestor was once free-spirited and disliked managing factions. So he handed authority to those he trusted most. Thus Ling Qingzhu managed the martial realm for a long time. Only recently was it returned to the martial ancestor. In today's Great Thousand World, everyone knows the Flame Emperor and martial ancestor stand side by side. These two supreme beings, if handled well, could become allies. And if not, Xiao asked. Tuoshe Ancient Emperor smiled faintly. Then one mountain cannot contain two tigers. Continuation Danling Continent. One day later, in the northern region of the Danling Continent, after leaving the ancient 10,000 grass plains, Ling Qingzhu prepared to return directly to the martial realm. 4 days earlier, after the auction, she had unexpectedly met an elder from the ancient 10,000 grass plains. Due to her identity and their intention to build goodwill with the martial realm, they gifted her a fortune divine soul pill. Her top priority now was to return, because Bing Huan was still in deep slumber. This matter could not be delayed. However, just minutes after leaving, she suddenly sensed a strange aura ahead. The space twisted, and a black jade bottle was thrown out from the void. Ling Qingzhu quickly caught it. The moment it entered her hand, a refreshing sensation seeped into her spiritual soul. Her expression changed. This was the unique effect of the divine spiritual marrow liquid. Who are you? Wasn't this item already taken by the endless fire domain? She asked the surroundings, but there was no response. Confusion deepened. Why would someone give her this item? Previously it had been in Shuna's possession. Was the endless fire domain trying to establish goodwill with the martial realm? Countless questions arose, but she quickly suppressed them. The most important matter now was awakening Bing Huan. Everything else could wait. She continued forward. Dozens of minutes later, when a vast city appeared before her, suddenly, a terrifying sense of danger descended upon her. The overwhelming aura surged violently, far beyond the level of an earth sovereign. It was the power of a heavenly sovereign. When Xiao Yan captured Ling Qingzhu, the mistress of the martial realm, do you know how Lin Dong reacted? Let's continue the story. Who is it? The moment she sensed that terrifying aura, Ling Qingzhu instinctively retreated. However, just as she was about to escape, the surrounding space suddenly twisted and rapidly solidified. In an instant, it formed a spatial cage spanning hundreds of meters. Immediately after, the entire world was engulfed in a crimson hue. This sudden turn of events shocked Ling Qingzhu. When she raised her head to look toward the horizon ahead, a black-robed figure had appeared at some unknown moment. It was a handsome man, and the aura of pride emanating from him was no weaker than Lin Dong's. Ling Qingzhu clearly did not recognize this person, but she could be certain he came with ill intent. Realizing this, she immediately activated a spatial ancestral symbol hidden deep within her supreme sea. As long as she detonated this symbol, Lin Dong would definitely react. However, when the spatial ancestral symbol collided with the spatial cage, the black-robed man let out a cold snort. Give up. If I were to let you escape, then I wouldn't deserve to be called the Flame Emperor by the countless beings of this world. Inside the spatial cage, the smoke from the explosion gradually dispersed. When Ling Qingzhu heard the words Flame Emperor, her expression instantly changed. How could she not know who the Flame Emperor was? That was Xiao Yan, the Lord of the Endless Fire Domain. But why would the Master of the Endless Fire Domain suddenly appear here? And why intercept her? Ling Qingzhu couldn't help but think of the bottle of supreme spiritual liquid. Could it be that the Flame Emperor had come for this? Because of Xiao Yan's overwhelming arrival, the nearby city was quickly alarmed. Tens of thousands of guards and powerful experts rushed out, watching Xiao Yan outside the protective barrier with vigilance. However, the rapidly rising temperature of heaven and earth made their scalps tingle. Meanwhile, far away, tens of millions of miles from here, on an ancient vast grassland. A man standing atop a mountain gazed into the distance and muttered, "Why has the Flame Emperor suddenly descended at the borders of my ancient great grassland?" Even across such a distance, he could clearly sense that Xiao Yan had arrived with anger. At the same time, hundreds of millions of miles away, within a hall of the Dan God clan, the clan leader Dan Yu and Zhuna, who were in discussion, were also alarmed by this sudden terrifying aura. They quickly stepped out of the hall. Zhuna said, "What happened, Brother Xiao Yan's aura doesn't seem right." Dan Yu replied, "It's best to go and take a look ourselves." The two immediately headed toward the direction of Xiao Yan's aura. At the edge of a city near the ancient great grassland, Xiao Yan floated in mid-air. His eyes narrowed slightly as he stared at Ling Qingzhu, trapped in the spatial prison. From the fluctuations of her divine soul, he had already confirmed the bottle of supreme spiritual liquid that Zhuna obtained at the auction was on her. "I don't know who you are, but you dared to seize something belonging to my endless fire domain. Such behavior is extremely unwise. I hope you understand the consequences," Xiao Yan said coldly. If not for the fact that she was a woman, he would have already killed her. However, upon hearing Xiao Yan's words, Ling Qingzhu became even more confused. When had she ever taken anything from the endless fire domain? Could it be that someone had stolen the supreme spiritual liquid after the auction and framed her? "Flame Emperor, I did not take anything from your endless fire domain." Hearing this, Xiao Yan coldly snorted, "I know. You merely paid for that bottle of supreme spiritual liquid. But do you think that counts as a fair transaction? 12 billion drops of supreme spiritual liquid." Ling Qingzhu was once again stunned. "You only have two choices," Xiao Yan said. "Return the supreme spiritual liquid, and then come with me to the endless fire domain to apologize to my wife and children. If you belong to some sect, then call your sect master or leader here." "Can't the dignified Flame Emperor be a bit reasonable?" Ling Qingzhu shouted angrily. "I am already being reasonable," Xiao Yan replied coldly. "That's why I haven't made a move against you. Make your choice quickly. Otherwise, I don't mind suppressing you here for several hundred years." However, just as Xiao Yan finished speaking, Ling Qingzhu, inside the spatial prison, suddenly curled her lips into a faint smile. "Your spatial cage cannot trap me." "Oh." A cold glint flashed in Xiao Yan's eyes. Just as he was about to suppress her, a streak of star-like light suddenly flashed across the distant sky. Xiao Yan immediately sensed it. In the next moment, that light rapidly expanded, and a terrifying figure tore through the void, rushing toward him at extreme speed. In just an instant, that person arrived before Ling Qingzhu. Before Xiao Yan could clearly see his appearance, a punch had already struck the spatial cage. With destructive force, the cage shattered into countless fragments. "Oh, the master has arrived." Xiao Yan's lips curled into a teasing smile. He looked forward. Amid the countless fragments of space, a black-clothed figure stood in front of Ling Qingzhu. The figure slowly raised his head, his killing intent directed at Xiao Yan. "Long time no see, Flame Emperor. It's only been a few days. And after showing favoritism, you've started bullying women again." Martial ancestor Lin Dong. Seeing the black-clothed young man before him, Xiao Yan's expression instantly froze in shock. Because this person was none other than Lin Dong, whom he had met before. Xiao Yan had never expected that this woman would be related to Lin Dong, and judging by his reaction, their relationship was clearly extraordinary. Could this woman be Ling Qingzhu, the mistress of the martial realm? However, upon hearing Lin Dong's mocking and contemptuous tone, Xiao Yan sneered in response. "Martial ancestor Lin Dong, as the master of the martial realm, you should understand your identity and status, and what the martial realm represents in the great thousand world. Yet I didn't expect you would allow your woman to act tyrannically outside under the name of the martial realm, plundering others' possessions like a bandit. The martial realm is a major and wealthy power, yet it still covets petty gains. It seems your martial realm is lacking those tens of billions of supreme spiritual liquid. Xiao Yan showed no restraint in his counterattack. Gone was the calm demeanor he had shown previously in the martial realm. Last time the martial realm had reason, but this time the endless fire domain held the moral ground. So even if it meant tearing all pretenses apart, Xiao Yan did not care in the slightest.